The message arrived on a Tuesday. It came through every communication device on Earth simultaneously. Televisions, radios, phones, computers, all displaying the same simple greeting in every known human language. You are not alone. Dr. Alan Pierce was eating a sandwich in his laboratory at NASA when it happened. He dropped his lunch as the screens around him flickered to life with symbols he'd never seen before, gradually morphing into English letters. As one of Earth's leading xenolinguists, he had spent his career preparing for this moment. Yet nothing could have truly prepared him for the reality. Within hours, the United Nations convened an emergency session. By nightfall, they had confirmed what everyone already suspected. Humanity had received its first extraterrestrial transmission. "We need a response team," said UN Secretary General Diaz, his voice steady despite the historic weight of the moment. "Our best and brightest." 7 days later, a massive vessel appeared in Earth's orbit. It dwarfed the International Space Station, stretching nearly a mile in length. Its surface gleamed with an iridescent material that seemed to shift colors as it moved through space. Ambassador Olivia Grant stood at the viewing window of the shuttle carrying Earth's delegation to meet the visitors. Her diplomatic career had taken her to war zones and peace summits, but never to the stars. Next to her, Dr. Pierce fidgeted with his translator device. "Do you think they'll look like us?" asked Olivia. Alan shook his head. "The odds are astronomical against it." He was right. When the airlock opened, Earth's delegation faced 12 distinctly alien species standing together in what appeared to be a grand reception hall. Some floated rather than walked. Others had multiple limbs or eyes. One appeared to be made entirely of crystalline structures. A tall, slender being with blue-tinted skin stepped forward. "I am Nexer, primary speaker for the Galactic Coalition," it said, its voice remarkably human-like. "We welcome Earth to the greater community of spacefaring civilizations." Over the next 3 days, Earth's representatives learned that the coalition included over 50 species from across the Milky Way. They had been observing Earth for decades, waiting until humans achieved certain technological benchmarks before making contact. "We offer you provisional membership," Nexer explained during the formal presentation. "With it comes access to medical advancements that will eliminate disease, energy technology that will end your climate crisis, and protection from hostile forces beyond your knowledge." "And what do you ask in return?" Olivia questioned, her diplomatic training kicking in despite her awe. "Knowledge exchange is the foundation of our coalition," answered a squat, amphibious being introduced as the science director. "Full disclosure of resources, technology, cultural artifacts, and biological information. All members share equally." The delegation returned to Earth with the coalition's proposal. Debates raged across the planet. Some feared alien conquest disguised as friendship. Others saw salvation from humanity's self-destructive tendencies. In the end, pragmatism won out. Earth's resources were dwindling. Climate change threatened millions. New diseases emerged faster than cures could be developed. The coalition offered solutions to all these problems. 3 weeks after first contact, Earth accepted provisional membership in the Galactic Coalition. Construction began on a permanent coalition embassy in Geneva. Exchange programs were established. The first human representatives prepared to visit coalition worlds. Dr. Pierce headed the scientific exchange team, while Ambassador Grant led diplomatic relations. Both received the same classified directive from Earth's Security Council: share only what was necessary, learn everything possible, and proceed with extreme caution. As the first coalition technologies arrived on Earth, bringing miraculous cures and clean energy, humanity celebrated its new cosmic connection. Few noticed the subtle frustration growing among their alien visitors at how little humans offered in return. The honeymoon period of first contact was about to end. Earth had learned its first lesson in galactic politics. Information was the most valuable currency, and humans were already becoming known as misers. 6 months into Earth's provisional membership in the Galactic Coalition, the atmosphere in the Geneva embassy had changed. What began as excitement had slowly transformed into tension. Nexer, the primary speaker, sat across from Ambassador Olivia Grant in what had become a weekly ritual. His blue skin seemed duller today, his posture rigid with poorly concealed frustration. Ambassador Grant, we have shared medical technology that has cured your most devastating diseases. We have provided clean energy solutions that have reduced your planet's carbon emissions by 30%. Yet your people continue to provide only the most basic information about your civilization. Nexer's translator conveyed his words perfectly, but couldn't hide the edge in his tone. Olivia smiled politely. We shared extensive cultural archives. Our music, art, literature. Just last week, we provided complete access to our public scientific database. Public information, Nexer noted. Information already available on your global network. We seek deeper exchange. The pattern repeated across all interaction channels. Dr. Alan Pierce's scientific team shared basic formulas and theories, but withheld key research. Military representatives discussed historical battles, but revealed nothing about current capabilities. Earth's resource ministers provided geographical surveys, but no specific locations of rare mineral deposits. In the secured underground facility beneath the UN headquarters, Earth's Security Council reviewed the situation. The Vexari representative requested access to our nuclear facilities again, said General Frank Wilson, tapping his tablet. Fourth time this month. The Lorexi offered advanced quantum computing technology in exchange for our complete biological database, added Dr. Pierce, including human genetic mapping. Ambassador Grant leaned forward. They're getting impatient. Nexer implied today that our provisional status might be reconsidered if we don't become more forthcoming. Let them be impatient, replied the UN Secretary General. Something doesn't add up. Why are they so desperate for our information when they're so technologically advanced? Back at the Coalition Embassy, the alien representatives gathered in their private chamber, shielded from human surveillance. Or so they believed. Humans are either hiding something significant or they are pathologically secretive, said the Vexari military attaché, his scaled skin flushing orange with annoyance. The Lorexi information broker bobbed her gelatinous form in agreement. In 6 standard cycles, we have learned almost nothing we didn't already know from monitoring their broadcasts. My superiors are most displeased. Perhaps they simply do not trust us yet, suggested the Quanari elder, whose species had been among the Coalition's founders. Remember, they have never encountered extraterrestrial life before. Caution would be natural. The Meldari telepathic representative remained silent longer than the others. When she finally spoke, her voice was troubled. I have attempted to read their thoughts during negotiations. Their minds are difficult to access, unlike other species we've encountered. This revelation created immediate unease among the gathering. Resistant to telepathy. The Vexari's battle ridges extended. That suggests defensive evolution or technology we were not informed about. Unknown to the Coalition members, their supposedly private conversation was being recorded by tiny sensors developed by NASA engineers. Dr. Pierce received the translation in his secure facility an hour later. They're getting nervous, he told his team. And that's exactly what we expected. Earth's strategy had been carefully planned from the beginning. Humanity had watched enough science fiction to be wary of seemingly benevolent alien contact. The silent treatment wasn't just caution. It was a deliberate test to see how the Coalition would react to being denied what they wanted. As humans received more Coalition technology, they secretly reverse-engineered it, learning more than their visitors realized. Each seemingly simple cultural exchange contained hidden questions. Each diplomatic meeting was a careful dance of giving little while gathering much. The Coalition had expected humans to be grateful, open, and easily manipulated. Instead, they encountered a species that smiled politely, said thank you, and kept their secrets locked away. And it was driving the galactic community to distraction. The grand meeting hall of the Coalition ship hummed with agitated conversations. Representatives from 12 species gathered in an emergency session. their usual formal protocols abandoned in favor of heated debate. At the center of their concern, humanity. 6 standard months of minimal disclosure is beyond mere caution, declared the Vexari commander, Cracks. His reptilian features contorted as he slammed a clawed fist on the table. The humans must be concealing weapons technology. It is the only logical explanation for their secrecy. Across the chamber, the Lorexi information broker floated in her containment field, her translucent body pulsing with pale light. Our analysis suggests they possess technological capabilities beyond what they have revealed. Their planetary defense systems appear primitive, yet they show no fear of potential threats. The coalition leadership had expected Earth to behave like previous species granted provisional membership, eager to please, transparent in their communications, grateful for advanced technology. Instead, humans shared carefully curated information while absorbing everything the coalition offered. On Earth, Captain Samantha Wells walked the underground halls of the newly established Earth Defense Force headquarters, buried deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Engineers worked around the clock, adapting coalition energy technology into prototype weapon systems. Scientists reverse-engineered medical devices to understand alien biology. "How soon can we deploy the perimeter sensors?" she asked her second-in-command, Lieutenant Greg Monroe. 2 weeks for global coverage, he replied. "The coalition won't be able to sneeze near our planet without us knowing about it." "Good. And the Jupiter Research Station?" "On schedule. If things go south, we'll have a fallback position." Captain Wells nodded. She hoped these preparations would never be needed, but her job wasn't to hope, it was to prepare for worst-case scenarios. Meanwhile, in Geneva, Dr. Alan Pierce analyzed data from the latest coalition meeting, his concern growing with each translation. The Meldari attempted telepathic scanning again, he told Ambassador Grant when she arrived at his office. "They seem genuinely confused about why they can't read us clearly." Olivia raised an eyebrow. "Do they know about the neural dampening technology we developed?" "I don't think so. From their conversations, they believe it might be a natural human trait." Alan leaned back in his chair. "But that's not the concerning part. The Vexari are pushing for more aggressive intelligence gathering." Before Olivia could respond, her secure phone vibrated. The message was brief. "Coalition formal warning incoming." An hour later, she stood before Nexer and the Coalition Leadership Council. Their usually friendly demeanor had hardened into diplomatic formality. "Ambassador Grant," Nexer began, "the Coalition has provided Earth with technologies that have advanced your civilization by an estimated 100 years. Yet your world continues to withhold basic information required of all members. This imbalance cannot continue." Olivia maintained her composure. "We understand your concerns, primary speaker. Earth has shared substantial cultural and scientific knowledge." "Insufficient," interrupted the Vexari representative. "Your species exhibits concerning patterns. You accept our gifts while revealing nothing of value. Some believe you are preparing for conflict." "That is absolutely not," Olivia began, but was cut off again. "The Coalition hereby issues formal notice. Earth must demonstrate full membership compliance within 30 standard days, or face sanctions including technology retrieval and possible quarantine." The ultimatum spread across Earth like wildfire. Public opinion divided sharply. Some demanded full disclosure to maintain the flow of life-saving technologies. Others suspected the Coalition's true motives and supported continued caution. In a secure situation room, world leaders gathered to determine humanity's response. The debate raged for hours until Dr. Pierce shared his latest intelligence. "We've intercepted communications suggesting the Coalition is already planning intelligence-gathering operations without our consent," he said gravely, "including possible infiltration of military facilities." The room fell silent. "Then they've made our decision for us," said the UN Secretary-General. "We maintain our position, and we prepare for whatever comes next." Outside, Coalition ships moved into new positions around Earth's orbit, their intentions unclear but their message unmistakable. Humanity's silent treatment had pushed galactic patience to its breaking point. The Galactic Summit on Proxima Centauri's terraformed moon should have been a celebration of interspecies cooperation. Instead, the massive gathering hall had become a study in division. On one side sat representatives from 49 coalition species. On the other, Earth's small delegation sat alone at their table, the empty space around them telling its own story. Ambassador Olivia Grant noticed the whispers that stopped when she walked by, the conversations that shifted to different languages when humans approached, the way some species physically recoiled from human contact. "They're treating us like we carry some deadly disease," she murmured to Dr. Alan Pierce as they collected their meals at the banquet. "In a way, they think we do," he replied quietly. "Fear is spreading faster than any virus." Back on the Coalition's administrative vessel, the Quinary Elder Council had convened an emergency session. As the oldest members of the galactic community, their wisdom was sought in times of crisis. "The human problem grows more concerning," said Elder Zanis, her ancient features barely visible beneath layers of luminescent robes. "Species are taking sides. The Coalition's stability is threatened." "Rumors spread unchecked," added Elder Torvax. "Some believe humans possess mind control capabilities. Others suggest they harbor biological weapons that target specific genetic markers." "Preposterous," huffed the youngest elder, Mira. "Based on what evidence?" "Their silence," answered Jonas. "When a species with nothing to hide remains secretive, others fill that void with their darkest fears." Across the galaxy, those fears multiplied. On the Vexari homeworld, military exercises now included simulations of human invasion. The Lorexi information markets traded speculative data about Earth's true capabilities at astronomical prices. The Melvari telepaths conducted secret research on human brain patterns, troubled by their unusual resistance. Even tourism suffered. Luxury cruises that once included Earth as a prime destination now were routed to avoid the Sol system entirely. "Visit the mysterious human world" had changed to guaranteed human-free experience. On Earth, the United Nations Security Council reviewed the latest intelligence. 7 coalition species have formally requested our removal from the Alliance, reported Dr. Pierce, scrolling through his tablet. 3 others have submitted proposals for enhanced information extraction from Earth. "Enhanced extraction?" asked General Wilson. "That sounds ominous." "It is," confirmed Captain Samantha Wells. "Our intelligence suggests they're considering everything from infiltration to forced sharing through technological means." Ambassador Grant shook her head. "This is escalating faster than we anticipated. The Coalition is fracturing over how to handle us, and the aggressive factions are gaining support." "What about the Quinary?" asked the Secretary General. "They've been our strongest advocates for patience." "Even they're losing influence," said Olivia. "Their calls for caution are being interpreted as weakness by the more militant species." In space, the situation grew equally tense. Coalition research vessels edged closer to Earth's orbital boundaries. Earth Defense Force ships shadowed them, maintaining distance but making their presence known. At Jupiter's research station, Lieutenant Greg Monroe supervised the installation of advanced sensor arrays, reverse-engineered from Coalition technology, but enhanced by human innovation. His team worked around the clock, knowing they might be the early warning system Earth would need if diplomacy failed. On the Coalition administrative station, a radical proposal gained momentum. "If humans won't share information willingly, we must take it," insisted the Vexari commander. "One decisive operation to access their central data repositories would resolve this uncertainty." "Such action violates our founding principles," objected the Quinary representative. "Principles that assume good faith participation," countered the Vexari. "The humans have shown none." The Coalition leadership found itself in an impossible position. Every attempt to understand humans better met with the same polite resistance. Every technology shared with Earth disappeared into a black box of minimal feedback. Every diplomatic overture received friendly but ultimately empty responses. Meanwhile, In a secure facility beneath Washington, D.C., Dr. Pierce presented his latest findings to a select committee. Based on our analysis of coalition communications, they've moved from confusion to fear to something more dangerous, he said gravely. They're beginning to see us as a deliberate threat. Isn't that exactly what we wanted to avoid? Asked a committee member. Dr. Pierce's expression remained grim. Sometimes, the harder you try to convince someone you're not dangerous, the more dangerous they believe you to be. Outside, stars twinkled peacefully in the night sky, giving no hint of the paranoia spreading across the galaxy. Paranoia centered entirely on the quiet, smiling humans who simply wouldn't talk. Lieutenant Greg Monroe had been on duty for 18 hours straight when the alarm sounded. The Jupiter Research Station's proximity sensors flashed red across his console, jolting him from his exhaustion. "Contact, sir." Unidentified vessel approaching from Sector 7, called out Ensign Judy Rivera, her fingers flying across the tracking station. Greg leaned forward, studying the trajectory. "Coalition signature." "Yes, sir." Attempting to mask it, but our enhanced sensors detect the propulsion pattern. Matches Lorexi Scout class. The Jupiter Research Station represented humanity's insurance policy, a place to develop and test technologies away from the prying eyes of their galactic neighbors. Its existence remained classified, even to most of Earth's governments. "They're moving into scanning range of the main laboratory section," Judy reported. "Active sensors detected." Greg's mind raced through protocols and possibilities. If the Coalition discovered what they were developing here, the fragile peace would shatter instantly. "Initiate Contact Protocol Delta," he ordered. "No weapons active unless they fire first." 3 Earth Defense Force interceptors detached from the station's shadow side. Their new engines, reverse-engineered from Coalition technology, but significantly modified, propelling them toward the intruder at speeds that would have been impossible 6 months earlier. Aboard the Lorexi vessel, Captain Zilith's gelatinous form pulsed with alarm as the human ships appeared seemingly from nowhere. "Impossible," she gurgled to her crew. "Our scans showed no defense vessels in this sector." The communication system crackled. Lieutenant Monroe's face appeared on their screen. "Coalition vessel, you have entered restricted Earth space without authorization. Power down your scanning equipment and prepare to be escorted out of the Jupiter exclusion zone." Zilith's translucent body flashed with patterns that her species recognized as indignation. "This is neutral space under Coalition Charter. We are conducting standard exploration. Your active scanning of our research facility suggests otherwise." Greg replied evenly. "Power down, or we will be forced to take defensive action." On Earth, Ambassador Olivia Grant was awakened by the urgent call. Within 30 minutes, she stood in the crisis center beneath Geneva, watching the confrontation unfold in real time. "Can we contain this?" she asked Dr. Pierce, who had arrived moments before her. "Depends on what they've already scanned," he answered grimly. "If they've seen our weapons development program." In space, the standoff escalated. The Lorexi vessel suddenly accelerated, attempting to dive deeper into the Jupiter system while activating additional scanning equipment. "They're making a run for the main facility," Judy reported, "targeting our primary research modules." Greg made the decision that would change Earth's relationship with the galaxy forever. Interceptors deploy countermeasures. Disable their scanning and propulsion systems. The Earth vessels released electromagnetic pulse devices, technology that hadn't been shared with the Coalition. The pulses struck the Lorexi ship, instantly disabling its advanced systems. For a moment, silence filled the command center. Then chaos erupted as the Lorexi vessel, now drifting out of control, fired emergency thrusters that sent it tumbling toward one of Jupiter's moons. "Tractor beam," Greg ordered. "Don't let them crash." The Earth interceptors managed to stabilize the Coalition vessel, but not before it had sustained significant damage. As they established a secure towback to the edge of the solar system, Greg knew the diplomatic fallout would be severe. He was right. Within hours, the Coalition leadership issued a formal condemnation. Earth had attacked a peaceful research vessel. Earth had concealed military capabilities. Earth had violated coalition principles of transparency and cooperation. Ambassador Grant stood before the Emergency Coalition Council, facing representatives whose expressions ranged from disappointment to open hostility. Your species has demonstrated aggressive territorial behavior consistent with pre-spacefaring civilizations, Nexer stated, his once friendly demeanor completely gone. The Coalition must now consider whether humanity represents a threat to galactic stability. Olivia maintained her diplomatic composure. A Coalition vessel attempting to steal classified information is hardly a peaceful act. Earth had every right to protect its sovereignty. Sovereignty, scoffed the Vexeri commander. You accepted our technologies while hiding your own development. You speak of rights while violating the spirit of our agreement. As the accusations flew, Earth's leadership met in emergency session. The Jupiter incident had forced their hand. The careful balance they'd maintained had tipped decisively. They were spying on us, General Wilson argued. This proves our caution was justified. It also means we can no longer maintain our current strategy, countered the Secretary General. The question now is, do we reveal why we've been so careful, or prepare for potential conflict? Outside the chamber, humanity waited, unaware that a brief encounter near Jupiter might soon determine the fate of their species in the galactic community. The Grand Council chamber of the Coalition headquarters station had never been so divided. What was designed as a space for unity now featured visible separation, with species clustered in groups based on their position regarding the human question. The evidence is clear, bellowed Krax, the Vexeri commander. His scales flushed deep crimson with anger. Humans attacked a research vessel. They developed weapons in secret. They have demonstrated nothing but deception since joining our community. Murmurs of agreement rose from nearly half the gathered representatives. The militant faction had grown substantially since the Jupiter incident. Across the chamber, Elder Janus of the Quonari rose slowly, her ancient form supported by a gravitational assistance field. We have existed for thousands of years by practicing patience and understanding. Rushing to judgment serves no species well. Patience, scoffed a Meldari representative. While we waited patiently, humans developed technology that can disable our ships. What else have they created while we respected their privacy? On Earth, similar divisions emerged among the planet's leadership. In the fortified Situation Room below Washington, heated debates continued through the night. 3 coalition species have withdrawn their representatives completely, reported Ambassador Olivia Grant, her usual composure strained by exhaustion. 5 others have issued ultimatums demanding full technological disclosure, or they'll support sanctions against us. Let them leave, General Wilson argued. Our interceptors proved we can defend ourselves if necessary. Dr. Alan Pierce shook his head. One skirmish doesn't mean we can withstand a determined coalition effort. If they unite against us, Earth stands alone against 50 spacefaring civilizations. The Secretary General surveyed the tired faces around him. Dr. Pierce, it's time. Tell them what you discovered. All eyes turned to Alan, who opened a secure file on his tablet. My team has been studying coalition technology since first contact. What we found explains why we've been so cautious. He displayed complex schematics on the main screen. Every piece of technology they shared contains fundamental weaknesses, backdoors, essentially. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. You're saying they can remotely disable everything they've given us? Asked Captain Samantha Wells. Worse, Alan replied. They can monitor it, control it, or use it against us. The medical nanites that cured cancer. They could be reprogrammed to attack human cells. The clean energy reactors. They could be overloaded remotely. A trap, Olivia whispered. A sophisticated, benevolent-seeming trap. In space, Lieutenant Greg Monroe oversaw the deployment of a defensive perimeter around Earth. Coalition vessels had begun gathering at the edge of the solar system, some claiming diplomatic missions, others monitoring Earth communications. The tension was palpable even across the vacuum of space. On the Coalition Administrative Station, the final fracture occurred during an emergency vote. The Zintheri, a warrior culture known for their direct approach, proposed immediate military action to neutralize the human threat before it develops further. "They have proven hostile," declared the Zintheri representative, her crystalline armor catching the light as she gestured dramatically. "Their silence masks preparation for war." The Quinari and their allies objected strenuously, but they found themselves outnumbered. For the first time in 800 years, the coalition failed to reach consensus on a major security issue. As the session ended in disarray, Nexer approached the Quinari elder privately. "This situation spirals beyond control. If humans truly harbor no ill intent, why would they risk galactic isolation by keeping secrets?" Elder Janus's ancient eyes seemed to look beyond the immediate crisis. "Perhaps what they protect is not a weapon, but a truth, one we may not wish to hear." Back on Earth, Ambassador Grant prepared for what might be her final diplomatic mission to the Coalition Station. Her team assembled the evidence Dr. Pierce had gathered, organizing it for maximum impact. "If we reveal what we know, there's no going back," Olivia cautioned the Secretary General in their final briefing. "The Coalition will either understand our caution or see it as confirmation of their fears." "We've run out of alternatives," he replied. "Earth's silence has served its purpose. It revealed the Coalition's true nature. Now we must speak, and loudly enough for even the Zinthari to hear." As her shuttle departed Earth's atmosphere, Olivia gazed down at the blue planet below. Humanity had spent thousands of years looking to the stars, wondering if they were alone. Now they knew they weren't, but they might soon wish they were. The Emergency Coalition Assembly was unprecedented in galactic history. Representatives from all 50 species gathered, their usual ceremonial greetings abandoned in the tense atmosphere. Even species that had been enemies for generations now sat side by side, united by their common concern about humanity. Ambassador Olivia Grant stood alone at the center of the vast chamber. No human had ever addressed the full coalition before. The weight of Earth's future rested on her shoulders. "Distinguished representatives of the Galactic Coalition," she began, her voice steady, despite the hostile stares from many delegates. "For 6 months, Earth has been called secretive, uncooperative, and potentially dangerous. Today, we will finally explain our silence." A murmur ran through the assembly. The Vexari delegation leaned forward, their scaled faces tense with anticipation. The Zinthari warriors gripped their ceremonial weapons. The Quinari elders watched with ancient, patient eyes. "We request Coalition Central Systems display this data," Olivia continued, transmitting files from her secure tablet. The massive screens surrounding the chamber filled with complex technical schematics, familiar to every representative present. They showed the interior workings of standard coalition technologies, medical systems, communication devices, energy producers. "What you see are the technologies you generously shared with Earth," said Olivia. "Now please observe what our scientists discovered within them." The display zoomed in, highlighting specific components and code sequences. Dr. Alan Pierce, standing behind Olivia, activated the next phase of their presentation. The screen shifted to show hidden pathways, concealed monitoring systems, and remote access points embedded deep within each technology. Every gift given to Earth contained these elements, Olivia explained as gasps and angry denials erupted around the chamber. Every medical device can be remotely reprogrammed. Every power source can be deactivated. Every communication system transmits data back to coalition networks without user knowledge. The chamber exploded into chaos. Species accused each other of espionage and sabotage. The Lorexi representatives pulsed with patterns indicating extreme distress. The Melveri telepaths withdrew into protective meditation postures. Nexer finally restored order, his authority barely containing the uproar. "Ambassador Grant, these are serious accusations. Are you suggesting the coalition deliberately sought to control Earth through these technologies?" "No," Olivia replied, surprising everyone with her answer. We believe most species represented here were unaware of these vulnerabilities. Our silence wasn't about hiding Earth's secrets. It was about protecting the entire coalition. She nodded to Dr. Pierce, who activated the final display. It showed communications intercepted between hidden factions across multiple coalition species, communications revealing a conspiracy spanning decades. A group we've identified only as the Architects has been embedding these access points in all coalition technology for generations, Olivia explained. Not just in what was shared with Earth, but in systems used by every coalition member. Your ships, your medical facilities, your defense networks, all compromised. Lieutenant Greg Monroe, who had joined the Earth delegation after the Jupiter incident, stepped forward to explain the military implications. Had we shared our discoveries immediately, these hidden operators would have simply gone deeper underground. By appearing secretive, Earth drew their attention, and their attempts to spy on us revealed their methods. The revelation stunned the assembly into silence. Species that had been demanding human compliance now found themselves facing a far more disturbing reality. They had been unknowingly compromised by enemies within. Elder Janus of the Quinary was the first to respond. If what you say is true, humans have done the coalition a great service through their caution. But why not tell us sooner? Demanded the Zinthuri representative. Captain Samantha Wells answered that question. Because we needed to identify the full extent of the infiltration before revealing our knowledge. The Jupiter incident forced our hand sooner than planned. Over the next hours, the coalition's best minds examined Earth's evidence. They could not deny the truth. The backdoors existed in every system, placed there by a shadow organization with members across multiple species. As the emergency session concluded, Nexer addressed Ambassador Grant formally. Humanity's silence was not paranoia or hostility. It was wisdom we failed to recognize. The coalition owes Earth its gratitude. Olivia smiled diplomatically. We look forward to a new partnership based on genuine transparency and mutual respect. Earth is ready to truly join the galactic community, this time with everyone's eyes wide open. As the Earth delegation departed, species that had been avoiding humans now approached them with new appreciation. The galaxy had panicked when humans wouldn't talk, only to discover that their silence had protected everyone. Sometimes, it seemed, not speaking was the loudest way to reveal the truth.